34th meeting. And I would like to welcome all of us. We are going to have 3 sections. We have the speeches, we have the evaluation, and I think we also have the table topics as we proceed. So welcome each one of us. Let's enjoy and just begin on a high note. Our theme for this evening is when the answer is a no. There are many times when the answer is a direct no, and also when the answer is seemingly not so clear, but it is a no. I welcome all of us to sit back and enjoy. But before that, let's see how many of us just mention one no answer that you can remember. One time when the answer was a loud no that you still remember to date. Just on the chat, I will look for the first 3 or 4. If you can remember when the answer was a no. Liz is saying skydiving is a no. When my dad said no to wear a short skirt, even when I'm 35. Remember when the answer was a no. Just one more. One more. Let's loosen up and just enjoy the evening. When I wanted to marry a man 30 years, I don't know if the man was 30 years or, or you were 30 years, I don't know. My senior, 30 years, my senior. That is great. When I wanted to be a 7 habits instructor at my work, my boss said yes, but his body language clearly said no. Awesome, awesome. So what are we seeing? We see that sometimes the answer is a clean no, and at other times, the answer is a no, but in a way that it is not direct. So you have to really look for the no in it. It can be direct or it can be indirectly portrayed. Thank you very much. I would want the grammarian of the day. We are going to have 3 speeches delivered this afternoon. We will begin with the first speaker. We will have evaluation, second speaker, evaluation, and third, we have 2 speakers this evening. I would want to call upon the various role takers for this evening just to tell us their role and what they think about the theme of the evening. I will randomly begin with the grammarian. Our grammarian of the day, I understand she or he is taking up the role this evening, just now.
Dr. Elizabeth is ringing?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Just tell us your role this evening.
Yeah.
And to add on to that, what you think about the theme. Welcome.
The theme of the answer is no is, no, what is that all about? Yeah, but I realize that, yeah, sometimes we get no in our life, and I understand that we have to live with no and accept no. Okay, so grammarian, my word of the day today is opposite of no. It is affirmative, which means agreeing with or consenting to a statement or request. An affirmative answer. Second meaning is supportive, hopeful, or encouraging. Example of the usage of the word affirmative. The family is usually a source of encouragement from which affirmative influences come. That's it. Back to you, Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you very much.
I will type it in the
Thank
chat.
you very much. The second role taker will be the accounter. The accounter, please tell us your role and what you think about the theme of today.
My role as our counter is to watch for crutch words such as like those things that we kind of not even aware that we're doing, just to make them more awareness. Usually our club is really good on this because we're an advanced club. As far as the topic of no, you know, I mentioned that I wanted to be Stephen Covey has a book called 7 Habits, and my boss wanted, I asked my boss because I wanted to be a facilitator for that, and I could tell that the boss kind of had to say yes to support it, but I noticed with his body language that he didn't look terribly excited about it. So I didn't really push it, although it really was something that I wanted to do, because I think it's, for those of you that have read the book, it's an amazing program, and I've always wanted to be a facilitator. But sometimes I think that when we hear no, it's kind of we're being led into a different direction. And maybe that's not the right thing, and that's why you get told, whether it may just be body language. Sometimes when we're told no, it means that there's a better decision, and that's just the no is to lead you on that path. That's my thought. The no. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Let's encourage them with a clap. Thank you very much. The next role taker is our timer.
Greetings, Toastmasters.
Mm-hmm.
Greetings, Toastmasters. As a timer, today I'll be taking note of the time that is spent by the speakers, the evaluators, and the table topic speakers. For the speakers, it will be 5 to 7 minutes. I'll show green, yellow, and red card respectively 5, 6, and 7 minutes. It will go on up to 7.5 minutes, and it will be kept showing on the screen. For the table topics, it will be 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute I'll show the green, 1.3 30 seconds I'll show the yellow card, and 2 minutes I'll show the red card. Up to 2.5 minutes it will be kept showing afterwards. Then for the evaluator, it will be 2 and 3 minutes. 2 minutes it green card, 2.5 minutes yellow card, and 3 minutes will be the red card. That's how I'll be displaying the cards as well as when the speeches are made. As far as today's topic is concerned, saying no, I would say one should be always affirmative and say no. There should not be any hesitancy in saying no. If you don't want to do anything, say no boldly, courageously. Don't step back. Be affirmative. Back to TMOD. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our timer. I hope I got it right, that you are also the table topics master.
No, I think Rati has joined us. I guessed has joined.
Table topics master.
Table topics our guest, Rati.
Is he on the call?
Is it she? Rati?
Yes, I'm here.
Is he on the call? Okay, thank you.
Do you want me to share my role now? Okay.
Yes, table topics, yes.
Okay, right. Hi, good evening, everyone from Malaysia. I'm Radhi Priya Balsan, and I will be your table topic master for today. Well, I joined Toastmasters because of this particular session. So just have fun, and definitely I will try to relate to the word of the day as well as to the theme. So thank you, and back to you.
Thank you. I can see Rosiana telling me that I thought that no introduction of role player other than grammarian. You will bear with me if I confuse. This is an advanced club. It's my first time to take the TMOD role, the test master of the evening role. So if I mess, just bear with me. It's always a learning curve.
I can see Somesh wanted to say, but I think he's a GE, so he's have to keep quiet.
Okay, thank you. I will give the GE time towards the end when evaluations are being done to give the reports. So as we continue, thank you for sharing with me on the chat one no answer that you can remember. I would like to remind all of us that when we ask for something, when we want something, when we work for something, our hope is always that we get it. In fact, we often hope so much that the answer is yes, so that a no can be very disheartening and can cause all kinds of intense feelings. There is a lot of writing out there on the importance of saying no for ourselves. If we don't say no, then we are filling up our calendars with things that may not be ideal. We are missing out on opportunities that may be better fit for us. We are spreading ourselves too thin, etc. But what seems to be missing from this conversation around no is that what do we do when we are the ones who are receiving the response? Something to think about as we continue with our program. I can see Kathy is saying sometimes it is hard to say no. And Sabaria is reminding us the word of the day, affirmative. 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 So let's make sure that we make use of it as we proceed. I would like to welcome our first evaluator, Liz, to introduce our first speaker of the evening, and that is Anvita. Welcome, Liz, to do the introduction of our first speaker.
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Anvita, welcome. Her speech tonight is about my mentors. This is from the Presentation Mastery, one of the Level 2 projects, in which it is an introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. The object of the speech, though, is not to talk about mentoring, it's to give a time when you have felt you have been supported or not by a protege, and the impact and importance of having a mentor. You need to, obviously, as I've said, avoid repeating the actual project around content of the project mentoring. So with a speech for 5 to 7 minutes, my mentors. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much. I expected you to introduce the speaker, our first speaker.
No, we don't do that. It goes back to the Toastmaster. And then,
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It's
bear
okay.
with me. I'm still in a young club, so bear with me when I don't act like I'm advanced. So I need to welcome the first speaker. Do I go straight to the first speaker?
Yes,
Yes.
you can
Okay.
just call me Dr. Elizabeth.
Thank you. So our first speaker is Anvita. Anvita's speech title is My Mentors. My Mentors. My Mentors, Anvita Hedge. Welcome.
I opened my pen and let out the ink on her white cotton starch gown. The gown readily absorbed all of it. Good day, Toastmasters and your guests. Miss Lakshmi was my mentor and high school teacher. I remember how I pranked her once. Ours was the first class she taught. She was very nervous as she was a new teacher. Being a high school kid, I wanted to disrupt her life. Miss Lakshmi was talking to the class, facing the other side and leaning onto my desk. I felt very inspired. I opened my pen and let out the ink on her gown. Thankfully, she didn't notice, or so I thought. Probably my class leader would have told her because after the lunch hour, I was summoned to the staff room. I went there timidly, expecting a severe punishment. As soon as I entered the staff room, Miss Lakshmi asked me, Anvita, give me your pen. I thought she was going to confiscate my empty pen as proof and gave it to her reluctantly. Now she asked, Anvita, how will you write notes in your evening classes if you empty all your ink on my gown? Before I could respond, she took out an ink bottle, filled my pen, and gave it back to me with a smile. I was taken aback. I only managed to mumble, "Thank you, ma'am," and rushed out of the staff room before she could change her mind. I felt extremely ashamed at having spoiled her gown. After this incident, I started looking up to Miss Lakshmi as my mentor. I learned how to be patient and understanding from her. She has guided me not only in my studies but also in my personal life. My mentor at office is Mrs. Deepti. She has imparted several leadership lessons to me. The most important lesson she taught me was to start every transaction at a zero base. Last year, Deepti and I had a strong and angry disagreement over a technical issue. On the same day at 6 p.m., Deepti came to my cubicle and asked, Anvita, shall we go for a movie? I'm bored. Her demeanor was as if nothing had happened in the morning. I was flabbergasted. I asked her sheepishly, Aren't you angry with me? Oh, what are you talking about? I already forgot what happened in the morning a long time ago, she replied. Then she went on to explain the importance of starting every transaction at a zero base. Ankita, we need to start every transaction afresh. We need to live and learn. Live and learn is how I have tried to lead my life since then. I commit mistakes, introspect on them, learn lessons from it, and try not to repeat the same mistakes again. My mentor in Toastmasters is DTM Satyanarayan Raju. He has taught me several important life lessons. I couldn't give my icebreaker speech for the first 6 months of joining Toastmasters. Every time I sat down to write a speech, I failed miserably. I contemplated quitting Toastmasters and shared it with him. He gave me only one advice: be like an ant, they never quit. Like an ant? I asked, puzzled. Just read about them or Google about it. You'll realize it, he said. I obeyed. As I started observing the ants, I realized that ants never quit. When they are heading a certain way and you try to stop them, they never stop looking out for a way. They climb over, they climb under, they climb around, but they never give up till they reach where they are supposed to reach. Ants think about summer all winter and about winter all summer. They are not naive to think that summers last forever. They start collecting winter food all they possibly can from the midsummer itself. In the winters, the ants remind themselves that this doesn't last long too. When the day is warm, they venture out. When it gets too cold, they die back down. They're always active. I have started to follow the ant philosophy in my life. This has helped me not only in my Toastmasters journey, but also in my life because that has taught me to never give up, stay positive, look ahead, and do all that I can. Dear Toastmasters, Oprah Winfrey has said that a mentor is someone who will allow us to see the hope inside of us. It's true, isn't it? A mentor is someone who will allow us to know that no matter how dark the night is, there is joy in the morning. A mentor is someone who will allow us to see the higher part of ourselves, which may sometimes be hidden to our own view. We all need that someone who will fuel our drive and passion. Find that someone, Toastmasters. Back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much. Let us clap. Let us appreciate Anvita. Thank you very, very, very much. That speech could not have come at the right time for me. I actually needed somebody to encourage me. I am so far away from the town and so many things were happening behind the scenes. I wish I would share with you, but I have put a brave face because I know that Toastmaster never quits. And thank you very, very much, Anvita, for telling us that we need to climb over, climb under, climb around, but never give up. That could not have come at a better time for me. I was almost sending word that I'm not able to. Thank you very much once again. I would like to invite our second speaker, our second evaluator, Ruziana Mohammed. Ruziana Mohammed will give us points about the second speech.
Okay.
Welcome, Ruziana.
Thank you, Dr. Liz, Toastmaster today. Kaushal, your speech today is about researching and presenting, and the purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. So let's hear some of the affirmative research and presenting. Over to you. Back to you, Dr. Liz.
Thank you. Welcome, Kaushal, to give us your speech on the popcorn experiment. Welcome.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Do you enjoy eating popcorn? You may enjoy the story I'm about to tell you. This is from a podcast called Hidden Brain, and I will post in the chat the information about this source so that you don't have to write it down. The Hidden Brain podcast, titled Creatures of Habit, dated December 30, 2019. In this episode, the psychologist named Wendy Wood was interviewed about how we form habits in our mind. She told of a very interesting experiment. A group of people were sat in front of a movie so that they could start enjoying watching it. They were all served popcorn. Before the movie began, they were polled on their popcorn preference. Some people in the audience said they always enjoy eating popcorn while watching a movie, and other people said they usually don't eat popcorn. They were all served popcorn for the movie. Some of the popcorn was fresh and hot, but some of the popcorn was old and stale. During the movie, the people who usually didn't enjoy popcorn and were given the fresh popcorn, they maybe had a little bit of it, but they didn't eat very much of it. Those who always enjoyed popcorn ate a lot of that fresh popcorn. That's no surprise. What's really surprising is what happened with those who were given the stale popcorn. Those who usually didn't enjoy popcorn stayed away from the stale popcorn, of course. But those who usually enjoyed popcorn ate as much of the stale popcorn as those who were given the fresh popcorn. Now, why is that? Why would they intentionally eat bad popcorn? It's because of habits. When you have a habit of doing something, you have a tendency to do it even if it's unpleasant or bad for you. Another great source of information about habits is the book, The Power of Habit: Why We Do What We Do in Life and Business by Charles Duhigg. And again, I have posted the information about that book in the chat. Now, here's what he says in his book about habits. Habits, scientists say, emerge because the brain is constantly looking for ways to save effort. Left to its own devices, the brain will try to make almost any routine into a habit because habits allow our minds to ramp down more often. This effort-saving instinct is a huge advantage. An efficient brain requires less room, which makes for a smaller head, which makes childbirth easier and therefore causes fewer infant and mother deaths. An efficient brain also allows us to stop thinking constantly about basic behaviors such as walking and choosing what to eat. So we can devote mental energy to inventing spears, irrigation systems, and eventually airplanes and video games. So as human beings, we have evolved thanks to habits. But as you all know, there are good habits and bad habits. Both the podcast and the book I mentioned give a lot of ideas on how to create a good habit and stop a bad habit. But I'll talk about one idea from the podcast, which is friction. You can remove friction from a routine to make it a habit that you want to start. Likewise, you can add friction to a routine that you want to stop. For example, say that you want to start exercising in the morning. What you can do is have your exercise clothes and shoes right by the bed so that when you get up in the morning, you're not wasting time and effort looking for your gear. It's right there. That way you have reduced friction. You have made your brain affirmative to making the routine into a habit. Similarly, say you want to stop your bad habit of drinking soda. What you can do is take that soda out of your fridge, put it in a dark and nasty place in your garage, so that every time you want a soda, you'll have to go to that garage, take it out of that dark, nasty corner, and then bring it back into your house and add some ice. That way you've added friction to your soda drinking routine, and your brain becomes negative to that routine, which will help you break the habit. I hope my speech has helped you understand our tendency to develop habits. And if you want to develop a good habit, it can be difficult, but if you succeed, it's because you have made that routine as easy for your brain as popping popcorn. Madam Toastmaster.
Let's appreciate Kushal. Thank you. I can't see people appreciating Kushal. Please appreciate good. Thank you very much for that speech, popcorn experiment. And thank you for talking to us about the power of habits. Very, very, very powerful. Good and bad habits. You have given us something to think over for the next 1 week or more before we meet. Thank you very, very, very much. As we continue, I would like to remind us of the theme of the evening, when the answer is a no. I would want to remind all of us that we will always encounter situations when the answer is a no. I did even this day. What is important is how you respond to the no. The way you respond to a no tells people more about you than the response that you give. It is never easy to reach out to someone and have them come back and tell you that they cannot give you your request. But it is important that you handle it properly if you ever want to make that request again. So there are points that we need to think about all the time. I'll only talk about 2 of them as we move on. Not responding is a very bad idea. Some of us would rather not respond. But if someone is polite enough to get to you, no matter what the response is, you should get back to them. So not responding at all is a very bad idea. Number 2, responding negatively is also a very bad idea. Anyone who says no understands that the person who asked them may be disappointed in the answer, but no one deserves to be insulted or berated for the fact that they are making the best decision for themselves. You may be upset when someone decides that they will not do an interview with you, invest in you, or grant you your request, but taking it out on the person will only make things worse. If you find yourself wanting to find back when you get a response, take an hour or 2 to cool down, then you will respond. Thank you. We proceed with our program. We are going to invite our table topics master, Musa, to take us through the table topics session. Welcome, Musa.
Well,
It's Ratapriya. It's Rati. Yeah. Go ahead.
no worries. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. It was supposed to be Sabaria, Musa, and then I thought, why not I try to play a role since I'm visiting all of you. Well done to Elizabeth. Can we please give a round of applause to Elizabeth for a wonderful work done so far. Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Radipriya, and I will be your table topic master. Can I please have the timer to flash out the timing for the table topics? It'll be timer, Toastmaster Satya. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Greetings, Toastmasters, once again. Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry, no worries. So each and every one of you who volunteers or to be volunteered will have 2 minutes to do your table topics. So our timer will be flashing the green light when it's 1 minute, amber light at 1.5 minutes, and red light at 2 minutes. And if you think you really want to share more and more, I believe the timer will have some ways to say, hello, it's done. Let's move on to the next person. Oh, he has a time's up card over there. Okay, so you might want to pin your timer just in case you get overexcited over the topic. So are you all ready, everybody? Yes. Now, can I just unmute and say, yes, I'm ready.
Yes.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes.
Yes, we are ready.
Let's
So
go.
it's going to be, thank you so much. So this is going to be a very fun part. There's no right or wrong in Toastmasters. That's why I love Toastmasters so much, because it's a safe place to share your thoughts. So you can always share anything you want. Let's begin. So who would love to be my first volunteer or to be volunteered? I can see Sabaria just like you.
I'll do it since I was supposed to be TTM. Okay. I'll take it.
Okay.
I get
So
the
we
ball
have-
rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sabaria. These are a few quotes and a few of them I created. So from the number of 1 to 5, can you please pick a number?
I am 3.
3. Okay. Nice one. Sabaria, when you say no to others, make sure you are not saying no to yourself. When you say no to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. Over to you.
When I say no to others, I make sure that I'm not saying no to myself. Oh, wow. Okay. This is maybe about diet and exercise. When I say no, I'm not taking that soda, casual, from the refrigerator, means I'm saying no to myself. It's not that I'm saying no to others, but I'm also saying no to myself. So, but in terms of good things, exercising, I'll say no, you shouldn't be exercising too much. You shouldn't be exercising too heavy and things like that. But then I realized that I'm always doing it for myself because I need to exercise more. I need to carry more weights because if I just carry that same weight all the time, I'm not going to improve on my strength, on my muscular strength. And if I'm going to just exercise 30 minutes 3 times a week, I mean, I'm happy with myself. But no, I want to have fitness level to be very, very fit and to be able to boost up my immunity system so that I'll be able to fight off that COVID or whatever virus or bacteria that comes my way. So I believe if I say no to you people, my friends, I'm not saying no to myself. So which means that healthy lifestyle, good eating habits, and my habits, the power of habits is a yes. It is not a no. So I believe it's not no, no, no. It is a yes, yes, yes. So back to you, table topic, madam.
Thank you so much, Sabaria. Well, I really love Sabaria's take. You know why? She just has the right attitude to tackle anything that comes along her way. But I'm not flattering you, by the way, Sabaria. And I believe it's also a reminder to myself, I need to start working on it as well. Okay, thank you very much, Sabaria. Who would love to go next? Come on. I'll be nice. Okay, I can see Katie over there. Hi, Katie. Okay.
I love your energy.
Yes.
I love your energy.
Oh, thank you. It was a pretty long day, but I'm trying to pump up the energy as well. Okay. So, Katie, number 1, 2, or 4? Sorry, 1, 2, 4, or 5?
How about 5?
5. Cool. So yours will be 1 positive thought produces millions of positive vibrations. 1 positive thought produces millions of positive vibrations.
Oh,
Over to you.
oh, sorry. I love this question. I believe that I see we're in a world where I see so many people with COVID. Everybody seems so frustrated, but I really feel like positivity, searching for the good. There's always, even in a dark cloud, I always feel like there's a silver lining. When my father passed away, when my mother passed away, with each of those things, when my mother passed away, I was actually by her bedside. And I know this doesn't sound very affirmative, but when we were telling her it was okay to go, because sometimes you feel like people are trying to hang on. My sister was happy with her, had her husband with her. My mother, I know, was really super happy with my husband that I met, and that she knew that somebody was there to take care of me. We told her it was okay to go, and within 30 minutes, she went ahead and left our earth. But when you leave that positively, I basically told her it was okay to go. She knew that I was happy. I always look, and in that case, I knew that David had been brought into my life because this was the next season was I was going to be losing. My mother actually passed away, was diagnosed with cancer 3 weeks after we got married. So it's like he was brought into there. So this was just, sometimes you wonder why somebody comes in your life that late. I can see it already turning now, but I always look for the positivity. So when you look for the positive, you find it. If you look for the negative, you find it. It affirms whatever you believe. So I choose to always look for the positive, look for the silver lining when there's a cloud. I seek that out. Even when we're all going through rough times with COVID and everything, I search for that silver lining everywhere. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. I love that question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Katie. Well, I truly agree with you. I just lost 2 people, one of my good friend and another uncle, just 2 days ago. And I had to do my speech on that particular night. It was so difficult for me, but the only thing that I can tell myself, I have to send out the positive vibrations to everybody. If not, I'm going to bring the gloominess to everyone, right? So I believe that during this pandemic time, I totally agree with Katie, and I'm very sure every one of you agree with Katie as well. Thank you so much, Katie, for a wonderful speech. Moving on to our next volunteer. Can we have another volunteer, please? I assure you, it will be a simple one. Yes, I can see Kaushal. You raise your hand for table topics. Thank you so much. So Kaushal, Toastmaster Kaushal, number 1, 2, or 4?
I'd like number 4, please.
Number 4. Cool. Actually, it's easy. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Toastmaster Kaushal. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. Over to you, Toastmaster Kaushal.
Thank you, Madam Toastmasters and fellow Toastmasters. It can be really difficult to ask for something when you feel that the answer is going to be no. But what I've learned is that you should ask even if you're sure that the answer is going to be no. Some of you may have heard of the book about negotiation called Never Split the Difference. It's by Chris Voss. And he mentions that a key tactic in negotiation is to ask for something that the other side will almost certainly not give you. For example, say that you want to buy a car that costs $30,000. Ask the dealer, can I have it for $15,000? The dealer is going to say no, but the dealer's mind will be more affirmative to agreeing to another offer that you may make, because you have set an anchor for a much lower price. Although the dealer said no, he's become more affirmative to agreeing to a lower price, maybe one that has to be higher, but it's still lower than that $30,000. So go ahead and ask when you know the answer is going to be no, because you will eventually get a yes later on. Madam Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Kaushal. Well, so I think I should take into consideration of your tactic, I would say. Thank you so much. Now I have received a message from Anvita Hegde. If I mentioned your name correctly, Toastmaster Anvita Hegde. She would like to go next. Well, Toastmaster Anvita, number 1 or 2?
1.
I was hoping you would choose number 1. Very simple. I just created this. Mommy said no to boyfriend when you were a teenager. Mommy said no to boyfriend when you were a teenager. What's your take? Over to you.
Anvita, what are you doing? Whom are you texting? You need to tell me the truth. I have seen that you're on phone entire night. With whom are you speaking? Good day, Toastmasters and your guests. That was my angry mom when I was 15 years old. It so happened that there was one sweet and cute guy in my class who always sat in the last bench, and it so happened that I also sat in the last bench. So as you can know, last benches always attract each other. I automatically had a huge crush on this guy. And this guy always used to text me and call me at odd hours. Unfortunately, my mom heard me talking to him overnight, and there she was, interrogating me as to who it was. I gave her a reply that it was my best friend who is sick and she needed somebody for moral support. That is the reason I was talking to her. It so happened that 3 days later, too, she found me talking to someone on the phone continuously. Now, again, she asked, who is it? I didn't know what to reply. I told her that it was one other friend of mine, but I got caught red handed because this friend of mine was at the door of my home. She asked my mom that she wanted to speak to me to go for shopping, and that was the reason my mom had come to my room at the first place. Now I was caught red handed. I didn't know what to do. She immediately snatched my mobile and saw a guy's name. She quietly switched off my mobile and locked it up in her locker. I didn't get my mobile phone back again for one whole week. To make matters worse, in the parent-teachers meeting, she went and complained the teacher that instead of studying, I was chit-chatting with that guy always. And the teacher warned that guy, obviously, because the guy's parents were also in the same meeting and they heard him. So that was the end of our friendship. So mom told no to my boyfriend back then. I really can't understand why are parents so intrusive in their students' in their children's life. I think they should be just left alone. What do you think? Back to the TTM.
Thank you very much, Tosma Anvita. Well, my mother, on the other hand, has all the reasons to use the reverse psychology. She told me, you want to find boyfriend? Go ahead and find your boyfriend. But if anything goes wrong, don't come back to me. And then I thought, I just rather not to have one. Okay. And I'm still not. Sabaria, don't give me that look, okay? I'm already on the hunt. Okay, so boyfriend topic said, Toastmaster Satya, dear timer, do you have one? Can I have one more volunteer? No. Sabaria says no. Okay, timer.
I think the time is up. You hardly have 10 minutes for the evaluation now.
Okay, so what I'll do now is that, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed my topics. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Elizabeth.
Thank you very much. Let's clap for Toast Table Topics Master. Because of time, we will just go straight to the evaluations, and I would want to invite Somesh to take us through that section.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. We will go in the order of the speech evaluators doing the evaluation first, and then the tag team, the timer, our counter, and grammarian. So I'd like to invite the speech evaluator of the first speech, Liz Welch, to please help us with the evaluation for Anvita Hegde's speech. Thank you very much, Liz.
Thank you so much indeed, Madam Toastmaster and Mr. General Evaluator. I nearly said that all wrong. Anvita, I opened my pen and spilt it on her. Straight away, that opening, I felt included, intrigued, involved, and I wanted to know more. Fabulous opening. What Anvita asked prior to her delivery was for me in particular to look at the pauses and facial expressions. I believe that throughout your speech, those were abundant. You had some wonderful expressions and pauses. I will elaborate on them later or soon. But what I enjoyed most about Anvita's speech was the storytelling, the way that she constructed the story, the way that she gave us those descriptive, colourful words within it. and taken us through over and under the description of the tenacious ants and never giving up. I could believe seeing the little ants playing. Regarding the pauses, I believe you were very effective. When you spoke in your opening statement and you said, I opened my pen and spilt it on her gown, I don't think she noticed. Pause. Or did she? That gave me a suddenly thinking, did she? Oh, how did she not? You were also saying around when you were talking about, well, turn me paper over. The pauses that you were using within it were wonderful. And your expressions, when you spoke about your first time, the look of concentration on your face, and that anger when you were talking about the disagreements and looking concerned. Ain't you angry with me? I thought that was wonderful. Ain't you angry with me? Puzzled expression. I enjoyed the whole way that you constructed that speech, from the beginning to the end. I think for some points to improve, although you had some wonderful gestures, the under and over of the ants, the smile, you were doing it. Very often you had your arms down here and we could see this bit moving, but not this bit. And also there was a point where the pause was a little elongated. And I thought for one moment that you'd actually stopped, but you didn't. You continued with that wonderful speech, a fabulous story, closing about your mentors and how much our mentors can help us to improve ourselves in many aspects of life. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Liz, for a great evaluation. If I'm asked, it's a great evaluation, I would say an affirmative answer. Thank you very much. Now I will go to the next evaluator, Ruziana, who is going to evaluate Kaushal's speech. Over to you, Ruziana. Thank you very much.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Somesh Kumar, as the general evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters and especially Kaushal, I like your speech a lot because it's about habit. And all of us are creatures of habit. And you started with a bang by asking us questions. And then you brought us into a journey of a popcorn experience between good and fresh popcorn and the stale one. And in that journey, I can understand clearly what you're trying to tell us. Thank you for that. And I find that you have met the speech objective because you have not only telling us that you got them from podcast, but also the book. And you have written them down in the chat as well. Thank you for that. It's very clear, crystal clear where the sources came from. And then you also tell us that those habits can be created and that we can change our habit that easy. From irrigation to airplanes, all can be done. And you make it, I thought it's a bit complicated, but you make it so easy by telling us how to move the friction so that we can achieve the habits that we wanted to. For example, to go jogging, and then also the other one, to remove that is a good habit, and then to remove bad habit by putting your soda away from you in the dark and difficult to go places. That's a good idea, so we can take benefit from that. And I've been scratching my head, where can I get the improvement part here? Because you've got everything in there. And I would like to suggest that maybe we can get some kind of research from the university instead of a podcast or the books. But of course, the book is a well researched, and in there, maybe they already got some kind of research from Harvard University or Oxford University to enhance it further. And as I am standing, I also like to suggest that I think this is that they like to see people standing because you can cover most of the frame, and you can easily use our hand gestures. But apart from that, I can see your hand gesture very clearly, and you are in a nice frame as well. So above all, I really love your speech today because I am into habit so much. And especially now in the lockdown, the weight has increased. So I will definitely put my gears right next to my bed and go for the jog tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rosiana. Another great affirmation on a great evaluation. Now I'd like to go to our tag team. First of all, to the timer of this meeting, Satya Toastmaster, to please help us with the time of the speeches and the speech evaluations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Greetings once again to Toastmasters and distinguished guest who's attending here at the Table Topic Masters. My congratulations for an excellent table topic session. As far as the speakers are concerned, Speaker 1, Anvita, spoke for 6 minutes 40 seconds, and Speaker 2, 6 minutes 16 seconds, and Evaluator Liz spoke for 3 minutes 10 seconds, and Evaluator 2, Rosiana, 3 minutes 11 seconds. Should I continue with the table topics also?
No, I think it should be all right. Thank you very much. Thank you. If it was a contest night tonight, I think everyone would have qualified. So congratulations, everyone. Next, we go to our contest report. Please, Kathy, would you please give us the report? Thank you very much.
Well, you guys made my all counting job very, very easy. Everybody was clean. Well, I had Satya, I had one little right at the very beginning, and Rosie, you had a couple of ums and ahs, but just a couple. But other than that, you guys did excellent. I'm going to affirm that because we are an advanced club and y'all speak like an advanced club. But that is my report.
Thank you very much for being succinct with your report. And let's go to the grammarian of the day to tell us how much affirmative we were in the meeting.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator or President DTM Somesh. I would like to congratulate the use of the words of the day. Rosie, I heard it once during a speech evaluation, during the introduction of the speaker, twice from Kashul. Kathy, you had one with affirm, yeah, and Liz one, and also Somesh, was it twice? And now if I failed or in my hearing to listen to the others, I'm very sorry. Okay, and I would like to say there's so many beautiful used words today. I like Anvita, timidly, when you went this timidly, you went there timidly, and then patient and leadership lessened. Wow, I love that. Flabbergasted. Casual, I heard like stale popcorns, fresh and hot popcorns. You like, oh, make me think of popcorns. The power of habits. Wow, power of habits. Yep. Effort saving instincts was that, and effective brains. Okay. Kathy, what was yours? Positivity. Yeah, that's it. Searching for the good and search for that silver lining. Well, that's good in our meeting today. Liz, I from the beginning to the end, it's like, wow, the words that you use, I want to write it down, but oh God, there's so many of it. But okay, I remember fabulous story. Wow, that was a good one. And then elongated pauses. Yep, I think I have all that. And there's no words or grammar to be improved because we are advanced club. I keep hearing Queen's English here. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Personal Advanced Toastmasters Club. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Savaria. Great grammarian report. Now I'd like to do the general evaluator role from the part of evaluation of the meeting from the beginning to the end. We started a couple of minutes late. There was a little bit of confusion in terms of who is going to start the meeting, but that's okay. Dr. Akin, you did the role in a great way. You were doing it for the first time and there were a few hiccups, but you have overcome everything very nicely. So huge round of applause to Dr. Akin for doing the Toastmasters role the first time and doing it successfully. Thank you so much. Then the table topics master, I think everyone had a great time. So thank you very much, Ratipriya, for joining us today. And hopefully you can become a member of this club. It'll be a great privilege to have you as a member of our club. So thank you so much for giving such a great set of topics, and fully agree with Kathy. You're bringing in a lot of energy there. So, and the topic that you had about one positive thought creating millions of positive vibrations. So you are personally showing that example through yourself. So congratulations on that. Next is in terms of the other roles. I think we are all pro at this. So congratulations to everyone on doing a pro role. Thank you so much. It's always a great pleasure to be a part of these meetings. We are just 1 hour every week, and it's a great 1 hour that we have together. So thank you so much for this. Dr. Akini, do you want to say anything to end your Toastmaster role?
Just thank you. I hope to polish up as we go on.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be in company of all of you wonderful people. And let's continue to have a great energy in this club and bring in more people and everyone going together in this personal growth journey. Thank you so much. I end this meeting now. Thank you.